What's going on, everyone? This is Adam and Craig with Grandstand Golf. In this show, we're doing the 2020 Mayakoba Golf Classic, our PGA DFS picks. We just released our betting podcast, but now we're back straight DFS, DraftKings, and FanDuel. Craig, after a week off, we're back. I think this is the first PGA Tour event in December in something like 30 or 40 years. So, hey, we're lucky. We're spoiled.
Yeah, I guess. It's like Christmas came early.
NFL is playing games on Wednesdays and Tuesdays and Thursdays. Golf, hey, we're consistent. We got some golf tournaments.
It's actually funny about Christmas because I was trying to explain to my wife how excited like the Masters is, and the only way I could like do it in a way that she understood is it's like that anticipation for Christmas, like especially when you're a kid and Christmas is such a big deal. It's the only thing I could compare it to.
I like it.
But this is not the Masters.
This is not the Masters. No, we're not at the Masters. We're in Mexico. El Camaleón Golf Club in Playa del Carmen, or just north of Playa del Carmen, but that's what I'm using for our weather and for things like that. We've been here since 2007. It's a par 71. It's a short course, just over 7,000 yards. The paspalum grass, which we see a lot in the Caribbean and these tropical resort type courses, which is slow greens, 11 on the stimp meter, because of course you can see in the picture there, it's a little bit exposed. We'll get some winds. With pretty steady winds across the entire tournament. Leading to that, it's about accuracy. It's a shorter course. It's about accuracy. Looking at the previous winners here, we got Brendan Todd, Matt Kuchar, Pat Kazire, Pat Perez. Any thoughts there, Craig? Any quick?
Well, I mean, it's been a while since I took Spanish, but I think the course might be called The Chameleon. So I don't know if that's any special insight there or not. But no, I think, you look at the previous winners and people's course history, and the reality is we have a stronger field than we usually do. With everything being disrupted this year, we've got guys going down there. So we don't quite know when you have some of these elite players whether or not that will make a difference in terms of how to play. But in my breakdown, in prepping the model, approach play is very key. And it looks like one of these courses that turns into, approach play is key because it turns into a birdie race. So you need to be hitting them tight and you need to be making runs of birdies.
Yeah, absolutely.
And especially, we're looking at the weather early here, and if it gets soft, then you really need to be taking advantage.
I mean, it looks really soft. So rain first couple of days, possible thunder I saw in another weather kind of channel. But you can see even on the Saturday, Sunday when it's nicer, it's still 40%, 20% chance of rain. So it looks like it's going to be really soft. So yeah, just fire at pins and that ball. I mean, it's like we saw at the Masters, just stick right there.
And I was looking at wind. It was not, to me, there was no evident side of the field to be favored. But wind is so volatile and it can change that it's one you want to keep your eye on closer to the tournament.
Yeah, I would look again Wednesday night for sure. Join us on our Twitch show. Things may have changed by then. 9 p.m. Eastern will be on Twitch on Wednesday night. I'll probably still do an AM PM stack of some sort for both waves, but
just in case, you never know. Especially if there are weather delays, you never know if one side's going to get very heavily favored.
Yeah, but right now, as of Tuesday morning, it's too early to tell, really. All right, should we get into our picks?
Let's do it.
It's back into a regular PGA week. It feels like it's been a while since we've done this, but I'm excited. My first pick, Abraham Ancer on DraftKings. He's 9,900 on FanDuel. He's 11,100, 6th and 7th. Talking about accuracy, I'm going to talk about accuracy with all three of my picks today. Driving accuracy, he's 25th, just under 70%. Greens in regulation, he's 81st, just under 70% there as well.
And now those are overall ranks on the tour.
Those are
not
overall
in this field.
That's not in the field. That's overall ranks. That is for the 2020-2021 season. So since the Safeway Open, most guys have about 3, 4, 5 tournaments, 6 tournaments. I mean, the one concern here with his play right now is the only place he is negative is strokes gained approach. But if you look at his history here at the course, his greens in regulation are 73 and 72%. So I think that is something he's under 7% greens in regulation for the season, but I think that's something he can improve on here. He has familiarity here. But coming in, he's hot. He's playing really, really well. Top 35 or better in the last 4 tournaments. That includes a 4th at the Shriners and most recently a 13th at the Masters. So playing
and he faded
really,
a bit
really
there
strong.
too. That could have been a higher finish.
His last 2 tournaments, actually, he's had one round that kind of stopped him. So
Mm-hmm.
he needs to put together four rounds. And I just feel like, I was kind of talking about in our podcast, I feel like there's kind of this storybook fairy tale ending of a PGA Tour season with Abraham Ancer capturing a win in Mexico, flying the national flag. I don't know. There's something there. I like it.
I think it's probably would be the top narrative that we could get out of this tournament.
I think it's the top narrative for sure. Last 3 trips, I talked about his greens and regulation, but his last 3 trips, he's 8th, 21st, and 9th here at this course at this tournament. Scoring average 67.83. So he likes it here. He's coming in form. The only asterisk I can kind of find is that strokes gain approach, but I think he can turn it around. He's not really bad. It's just a little bit negative.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like it. I'm going to have ownership on him. I think the biggest problem I probably have is that there's so many people that I like up there, and that's where I'll be talking about a few of them here. But on the Twitch show, we'll go through that entire list of guys up there because there's really a lot of plays that I like up that high on the slate.
I completely agree, and I think lineup construction is very interesting this week, especially when we go to your first pick here.
Yeah, so my first one, I'm really going out on a limb. I'm picking not, maybe he's a sleeper. I don't quite know. Justin Thomas.
Don't sleep on him.
Don't sleep on him. He's coming in, highest priced on both DraftKings and FanDuel. He's the obvious favorite this week. He's 11,400 on DraftKings, 12,600 on FanDuel. I mean, really, he's just, we kind of talk about there being a tier of maybe the top 3, 4, 5 guys,
right,
depending on where you want to draw that line. And he's clearly in there. And he's the only one here this week. So you look at this field, he's number 1 ranked in strokes gained total, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. He's number 1 ranked tee to green, 17, 18, 19, 20. Not quite in 21, but you know how early season things are always a bit more volatile. I wouldn't be surprised if of the guys in this field come the end of the year, he is again number 1 in that. And then, funny enough, we were talking about him yesterday on the podcast, but you go back to 2017 strokes gained total, and JT falls to number 2 behind Ricky Fowler, which is interesting. Yeah. But anyways, since the restart, he's had 14 starts, 5 top 5s, 36% of his starts being top 5s. 8 top 10s, 57% top 10s. So, he's just absolutely killing it over the last 6 months. You look at his last 5 starts only, his average finish is 5.8. And then you look at what those fields are. The Masters, Zozo, CJ, U.S. Open, Tour Championship. So, I mean, those are just stacked fields.
Those are really the best fields in golf for the most part.
Yeah. I don't know what kind of odds you're getting for him to be outside the top 10, but I'd have to think that I would take the bet that he's going to be in the top 10 here. Whether or not it's just a matter, at this price, you need him to win or maybe be second or third and you have the winner as well.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. So we were kind of on a call this morning talking about JT, how we're going to play him this week. I think I'm kind of leaning of put him in half my lineups. Yeah, pairing him with another guy up top or doing him and then a balanced kind of mid-7 type lineup. But he has far and away, I think he, like you said, he's in a complete different tier here. I think the next tier is a little bit weak to me with Brooks and Finau.
And then I really like the tier below that.
And then the tier below. So kind of pairing him with someone there.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see different numbers all over and on different content producers, but his chance to win here is well over 10, close to 20%, I feel like.
Yeah. The big concern for me is the driver. We spoke about it on our longer preview yesterday, and I think Kevin had picked him going into the Masters, and that was the concern is he can get wayward with the driver, but if he does, look at that beautiful grip in that photo there. He's got such strong approach play, just controlling those yardages probably, the only people who are maybe competitive with him on that front are the other guys I'm picking here. So, I don't know if we need to belabor the point any more than we have.
Yeah, let's move on.
He's solid value, even though he's the most expensive.
Yeah. All right, my second pick, Corey Connors. Canadian boy, 9,000 on DraftKings. He's 12th on FanDuel. He's 10,800. He's 10th there. Again, looking at accuracy. So driving accuracy, 71%. He's 17th in the PGA Tour for this season. Greens and regulation, he's 42nd at 71% as well. Matt, he's just hot. I mean, ride the hot golfer. He is so hot right now. He's playing so well. His ball striking is incredible. Mm-hmm. Top 10 or better in 3 of the last 4 tournaments. In the 4th one where he didn't get a top 10, it was a 24th. So, I mean, that's his worst in the past 4 tournaments, is 24th. Looking at, so I do like to see strong history at the course that we're playing, and he doesn't have that. He's missed a cut once, and I feel like he was kind of at the low end the other time he played here in his 6 rounds. But he has, as he's coming up as a golfer, he did spend a year and a half on the PGA Tour Latino America, 2015, 2016. In 2016, he had 8 top 10s. So if we're talking about, I mean, possibly not knowing Paspalum, I think you can take that away. Not playing well in Paspalum, you can take that away. I feel like it's just he's a different player than he was when he played Mayakoba before. And I feel like you can kind of take that course history and just kind of forget about it for him, because he is such an elite ball striker and he's playing so well right now.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing I always think about course history, he's 2 starts, you said? He's been here. It's such a small sample size that you never know what's going on with that person in their game, in their life, in anything. So, you know, once you start to get more and more, and especially like, if anything, to me, it's a slight bump or a slight knock. So, we've talked at length about how Corey Connors is one of the best ball strikers in the world, and if his putter's hot, then he's going to be great this week.
We talk about being early on guys that aren't showing form. He's the opposite. I'm just going to ride him while he's showing his form. Like, I'm going to ride the hot hand.
Yeah. Well, and that's, speaking of which, I'm going to get into my next one here, Russell Henley. So, you know, Russell Henley, he's coming in 9th on both DraftKings and FanDuel. He's 9,300 on DraftKings, 10,900 on FanDuel. I think the biggest potential problem is, like, that just jumped out to both of us when we were talking about it beforehand. Yeah. I think his ownership's going to get high. I think he'll be one of the higher owned players on the slate. So if you do want, you know, don't stack him with a bunch of other favorites. You're going to need to find contrarian elsewhere. But just pure value and where his game's at right now, I love it. You know, our DFS model, which we use all the strokes gained of all the previous years, which we have tons of data because they've been at the same course since 2007 here. So, you know, what were players playing like going into those years? Based on that model, he is number 2 behind Justin Thomas. So, you know, that's a good place to be when you're 9th in pricing. You look at his actual stats for both 2021 and 2020. He's number 1 in strokes gained approach 2021. This is in this field. Number 2 for 2020 behind JT.
Yeah.
Number 2 in strokes gained tee to green 2021, and number 4 for the full 2020 season. So, you know, his ball striking, especially his approach play, it's just lights out right now.
Yeah.
4 top 10s in his last 8 starts. Some of those top 10s also felt like he underachieved to get there. And so, you know, it's just, if everything clicks one of these weeks when he's playing this well, it's a win. And so it's just a matter of, I'm going to continue to ride Henley, and like you said with Connors, I'll wait until it doesn't work before I'm going to go away from it. In terms of the value, based on the model and the pricing, he's the best value of anyone above 8,000. So, you know, once you get into sleepers, you start to get guys spiking a bit higher in value. But of the guys in the top end of this tournament, he's the best value.
Yeah, I mean, I really like him. There's kind of a trend besides Justin Thomas here is all these kind of things are lining up for like a breakthrough win this year for a lot of these guys. And I think Henley definitely, I mean, it just feels like it's, when is that going to happen? I'm going to roster him for sure, without a doubt.
Yeah.
My third and final guy, talking about breaking through for a win. So Joel Dahmen is my third pick here. I'm going a little bit lower, 8,000 on DraftKings. He's 22nd on FanDuel. He's 9,900. He's 22nd there. So he's actually below average on both those sites. Looking at accuracy again, driving percentage, 41st, driving accuracy percentage, 41st in the PGA Tour. He's 67% there. Greens and regulation, he's 48th. He's 70%. He's positive this year in every strokes gained category. So he might not be top of mind like these guys like the Henleys or the Ancers or the Connors of having good years, but he is having a pretty solid year. He hasn't missed a cut in a while. He's positive in strokes gained across the board. Just kind of a very solid year. And I think he's kind of gaining momentum. This is also a place where he just loves. So 12 rounds here. I know I don't put a lot of stock into course history, but there are horses for sure. In 12 rounds, he's never shot over par. I love that. I absolutely love that for a balanced, safer approach. His scoring average is 68.33. Really good results here. I really like Dahmen this week.
Yeah, I also think you really need to give some weight to the hat, because if it's sunny, that hat is going to just add value. If it rains, again, I just think it's value right there. So, all jokes aside, I like Dahmen. One of the things that I'm struggling with a little bit is going to be roster construction, and I think we'll get into that a bit more on the Twitch show. But I'm having a hard time not going pseudo stars and scrubs, and so this value around 8,000, I don't know how much play I'm going to get there. But in that range, he's definitely one of the guys I like.
I just feel like he is one of those guys. I mean, he's looking for that PGA Tour breakthrough win. I feel like it kind of sets up nice. It'd be nicer if JT wasn't here, but it sets up nicely. It's like, it's a course he loves. He's playing well. It's maybe a weaker field. It's maybe kind of an off week. It feels like breakthrough, get that win here.
Yeah. Well, like I say, he's got the shade, he's got the sun protection. Okay, my last one here. So, we're talking a lot about keep riding the hot hand. The best analogy I can come up with, and I know not everyone's football fans, but it's a little bit like, Bill Belichick and the Patriots, and they, when they have a run play that works, a lot of teams are going to be like, we that worked great. Like, let's go do something else. Let's go do a play action on that. Bill Belichick would just keep running the frickin' run play. He'll do it 8 times in a row and be like, okay, stop it. Like, if you don't stop it, I'm going to keep doing it. That's kind of how I feel about Will Zalatoris. Yeah. Comes in 9,200. He's 10th on DraftKings, 10,700, 11th on FanDuel. He's got 5 starts on the PGA in 2021, 3 top 10s, 4 top 20s. He did have a missed cut. It was a close missed cut, and it was when he was on a streak of playing an absurd amount of tournaments in a row and trying to, get his special temporary membership. But you look at the ranks in the field so far this season. He's number 2 in strokes gained total. He's number 1 in tee to green. He's number 3 off the tee, and he's number 2 in approach. Like, the guy, it didn't make sense when he was still on the Korn Ferry Tour and he was coming into it didn't seem like it made sense, and he was coming into PGA Tour events as a favorite. Yeah. But, I think it's clear to everyone that he's here, and it's not like he's going to come in as a middling PGA Tour player. He's going to come in and he's going to quickly establish himself as a better player. And we don't quite know where that ceiling is. So I'm going to continue until he starts to show, a return to a little bit less results. I'm going to continue to ride him. I'm going to continue to have ownership on him. So just based on pure strokes gained total, he's the number 1 value. I said Henley was the number 1 value based on the model. Zalatoris is the number 1 value based on where their strokes gained total numbers are, which in any one stat, that is almost always the most predictive single stat as to how someone's going to do going into a tournament. So
yeah, for sure.
I like Zalatoris, as I have said many times on this show.
Is this his first tournament after he has his exemption now, right? He's got enough points.
Yes, he does.
So maybe there's also like he's going to play looser now. Like he doesn't have to worry about making the cut or getting the finish. He can just kind of be aggressive with these pins, with his approach, with his really strong approach play.
So I think the real thing, so both Henley and Zalatoris, they are in the 50 to 60 range on the official world golf rankings. So, neither of them, as far as I'm going with this. Yeah, neither of them, as far as I'm aware, are in the Masters for next season. There is a end of the calendar year, so December, end of December. There's a top 50 in the world at that point. they're into the tournament. So, I don't quite know. Zalatoris is 60th, so I don't know, say a second place, like a win he would be in anyways. Because anyone who wins in the year leading up to the Masters is in. But I think Henley would have more ability to move up with a high finish that's not a win. I don't know if Zalatoris could move up that far. But still something to keep an eye on, that he might play a bit looser, but I also think he wants to get into the Masters. So whether it's just he's trying to get his official world golf ranking up now, or that's just something he needs to slowly continue to build up as we get closer to, I think there's another cutoff before the Masters.
Right.
But yeah, just another narrative to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I don't know about Zalatoris. I feel like I might be underweight. I'm a little bit less sold as you are. I think the talent. I'm not going to deny talent. For me, it's just there's like we said, there's so many solid plays in that 9,000 range on DraftKings. So I might just be naturally a little bit underweight just because I like the Henleys, the Connors, a lot of the guys right there. But there's no way I'm going to build 20 lineups and not have a little piece of Zalatoris.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep running that ball. I want to see people stop it.
I like it. All right, so huge week of golf ahead. We already released our Mayakoba and Dubai betting podcast. As we mentioned, you can get it wherever you get your podcast. Please subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate it on those podcast subscribers. It is also on YouTube, so you can watch it there. We did, Craig, our Golf in Dubai DFS picks and sleepers. That's already out. The contests are locking really quick here. I mean, we're recording this Tuesday morning. It locks 10:10 p.m. Eastern Tuesday. So there's potential for those not filling. So take a look, watch our video. It's going to be a good tournament in Dubai. And then our Mayakoba Golf Classic, tons of content. DFS model, as we mentioned a few times in the show, it's already up on the website. Sleepers will release later today. And then our live Twitch show, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. A lot of stuff going on. Anything I missed there, Craig?
No, I just check out the DFS model. I think pat myself on the back a little bit. I think it's the best thing that you can find for free, at least that I have seen. And that's the goal, is, it gets better every week. And the plan is for that to continue. Working on my web development skills, because that's the rustiest part of it. I feel like my analytical skills are there because that's where I have a bit of a background, but the web development I'm still working on, so it's going to continue to improve. But yeah, check that out on the website.
And I don't know if this is fair to say, but we're continually improving the model and all that on our website. If there is something that you really want to see in the model, comment below. We're hoping to have a version 2.0 out shortly.
Yep. Other than that, good luck, and we'll see you next time.
All right, see you guys.